Hello, welcome back to the Lingua Loom. Today we're going to start another episode, which is episode number 5 of Semantic series. The topic name is Semantic Features. So, if words are atoms of meaning, what are they made of? So that's the basic question. And semantic feature analysis cracks open every word and finds the building blocks hiding inside. So this is the importance of semantic features. Let's start with the core meaning. The core idea is that meaning has a structure just like a DNA. So just as a biologist decomposes living things into cells and chemists decompose matter into elements, linguists same like that decompose word meanings into primitive binary semantic feature. The result is a kind of molecular grammar of meaning, allowing us to explain why words are related, how they differ, and what makes a sentence feel semantically wrong. So this is about the semantic feature that's breaking up a word. Its meaning is important to analyze what features does a word carry and do they actually mean or not. And if the meaning is disrupted, then they're semantically wrong. So that's what linguists do. So let's move forward. Part number 1, that is the foundation, breaking meaning into atoms. So a semantic feature, also called the semantic component or semantic marker, is the minimal individual unit of meaning. It is the smallest piece of meaning that distinguishes one word from another. So features are written in square brackets and either are positive, like this one. The semantic feature applies, that is, it can be applied which is positive, and negative in case it does not apply. So some features are binary in nature, others can be scalar or context dependent. So the basic core here is that not meaning is fixed, it depends upon the context too. So the key insight is you do not need to list every property of the concept, you only need enough features to distinguish the word from all related words in the same semantic field. The features that matter are the one that makes the difference. So this tells us about how meanings are created. So semantic features play a basic role in creating the meaning. You cannot just make up a word and use it. There's pattern that is followed, which is semantic feature, which makes meaning, which build the structure of meaning. So the academic definition is semantic features or semantic components are the minimal distinctive units of meaning that makes up lexical items. Componential analysis is the method of decomposing word meaning into combinations of such features, analogous to the way phonology decomposes sound into distinctive features. So this is taken from this work, The Structure of Semantic Theory. So as we have just touched componential analysis in the earlier video, so we said that it was basically not much appreciated, but we still have to study, as you cannot just go on to the accepted version of the theories. You have to move slowly, getting to know each and everything for a bigger picture of why some concepts are accepted and why are other rejected. So let's look at it, that how it works. The method step by step is componential analysis follow a clear method. Here is how a linguist would break down a set of related words. Let's use human kinship terms to study. First one is to the semantic field. So in the first step, you will be choosing the semantic field. Pick a group of related words, kinship terms, or animal names or verbs of motion. They share some meaning but differ in other. The method works best with structured, bounded domain. So kinship terms are the classic example because the differences are clear and systematic. So we'll be taking semantic field, which is human kinship system. Words are you can take depending on you. So the most common ones are man, woman, boy, girl, father, mother, son, daughter, brother, sister. So moving on to the next step, which is identify the relevant feature. So ask yourself that what are the minimal binary properties that distinguish these words from each other. Each feature should correspond to the real semantic distinction, not just a random property. For kinship terms, the key features are relatively clear. So the first one that can be taken as when you're doing componential analysis are human, adult, male, parent, sibling, offspring. So these are the relevant features that you can take. Then next one, the third step, you will be doing assign positive or negative to each word. For every word, go through each feature and decide does this word have this property. So if this have, then it's positive, otherwise it's a negative. The result is the unique feature bundle for each word, its semantic fingerprint. No two words should have the same fingerprint if the features are chosen well. So this is the example how you'll be deciding the for father and mother. Father and mother both are human, both are adult, and father is a male, mother is not. Both are parents. They are not siblings, they are not offsprings. They're offsprings of their parents, but we're categorizing them on the basis of their properties, their features. So that's why they are not considered as offspring. So let's move on to the fourth step, which is the read the relationships. So once the matrix is complete, you can read off semantic relationship directly. Words that share all features are synonymous. Words that differ on one feature are antonyms or near antonyms. Words where one is a subset of another have a hyponymy relationship. The structure reveals itself. So father versus mother differ only on male. So complementary antonyms they are. Whereas man versus father, father has all man's feature plus parents, so hyponymy. So that's how the lexical relations are decided based on componential analysis. We will be discussing lexical relations clearly in the later videos. So for this is it for now. So starting from how you'll be doing, let's see it again. That how you'll be deciding componential analysis step by step. First choose a semantic field, then identify the relevant feature, then assign positive or negative to each word, then read the relationships, and these are the first steps. Let's move on to the third part, which is word feature explorer. Now we're going to look at the features of some of the words. First starting with man. Okay, now I have to scroll a bit to see it clearly. So here it is. It is human, so it's plus, adult, positive, male. So the green ones are positive and the red ones are negative. So it's not a parent, not an offspring, not a sibling. As we're looking at the feature of just man, not basis of how they're related to other because we don't know if they have siblings, so it's a negative for that. We don't know who's its offspring of, so it's a negative here too. So we're not discussing parent, we're just discussing man, so it's a negative here too. And not all men can be parent. It's up to them who are married or who are an offspring. So it's not parent. If it would have been father, then it would have been parent. So the base adult human. Now these shares, these are the written human, adult male with father and brother. So in father, this is adult 2, human 2, and same goes with human and male as this one. The difference reveals what makes these words more specific. So this is how componential analysis is done. Let's look at another example. Woman, human, adult, not a male, not a parent, not an offspring, and not a sibling. So negative, 2 positive, another negative. So if we would have taken another feature that is female, then it would have been female written here too. It depends upon how you take features. That's how you do analysis of all the words. You cannot take any other category if you have not decided before doing analysis. So let's get boy. Boy is human, not an adult, male, and others are negative too. Not a parent, not an offspring, not a sibling. As name related information is being discussed regarding that, so it's negative. Then girl, plus human, not an adult, not a male, and others are negative too. Then father, human, adult, male, parent, another 2 are negative for father. So like this, that we have discussed that not every man is a father. So the feature parents is what makes the difference. It is this how we decide. Then mother, the male one is negative and the parent one is positive. So 3 positive and 3 negative. Then comes the son. This one is shaded as it is out of the box. It would have been red too, but as it shows, let me zoom it. For other it's plus or either negative, but here shows plus and minus at the same time. So son, we don't know if it's an adult or just a boy. So it's for both. Son can be adult and can be just teenage. So that's how we add plus and minus at the same time when we don't know about a specific situation, or we're certain that it can be both. Then comes the daughter. Here is same for the daughter, plus and minus together. Then for brother, here again plus and minus as they can be adult here. Same goes for sister, plus and minus at the same time. Then bull, an animal. Now these 4 are animals. Not a human, adult, bull is adult, then male, then bovine. And equine. So these are the features. Together sufficient to pick out bull. Notice how the structural framework of the kinship framework use term apply here. The matter is domain independent. So here is bovine because bovine means relating to the family of cattle family. So it's not a queen, which is it means belonging to the horse family. So let's look at another one. Cow. It's not a human, it's an adult, not a male. Bovine, that is belonging to the cattle family, and not an equine, which is belonging to the horse family. So difference from bull in one feature, that is male, exactly parallel to man and woman, and father-mother distinction across domains. So let's look at stalling. So it is not bovine. It's negative here. It's equine here. Why? Because equine means belonging to the family of horse. So let's look at mare. And here again, bovine is negative. Male is negative. Human is negative. Equine belonging to the family of horse. So female horse it is. That's why it's negative in male. Differ from stallion on male. Differ from cow on these two features. The matrix efficiently locates every time in semantic space using the same small set of features. So that's how you do analysis. Let's move forward. So this is semantic features at a glance, which is part 4. So let's look at componential analysis for the set of kinship and animals terms. So these are the lexemes that are decided: man, woman, boy, girl, father, mother. So that's how you build a structure to table, having different columns and rows. So here the feature plus minus human, plus minus adult, plus minus male, parent, offspring. Wait a second, there are those two. Offspring, then sibling. So let's look at first man. Man is plus for man, that is human, then adult. Yes, man is adult. Is it a male? Yes, positive here. Parent? Well, not all men are parents, so negative here. Offspring? Well, we're not talking about the man's parents, so negative here. Then I'll have to scroll a bit. Now sibling. Man sibling. Well, we don't know if man has a sibling, so let's keep this line for now. We'll be discussing as is negative for all of the above one. You can just look at these terms for better understanding because it takes a lot of time to scroll. Then comes the woman, so it's human. Then adult, obviously that woman is going to be adult, otherwise it would have been a girl. Then male, no, female, woman is. And parent, well, I'm not sure that is not every woman is parent, so negative here. Offspring, well, we're not discussing them. Then the next one is siblings, so negative here too, because not every woman can have siblings, as some are only just single child. So then move on to the boy. Positive as human. Then adult. Oh, not an adult. Male, yes, boy is a male. Parent, no, negative. Not all boys become parent at this age of a boy. So we're taking it as a negative. Then offspring, we're taking it as a negative because we're only focusing on boy, not their parents. And sibling, which was another heading. So not it's negative for it too because not all boys have siblings. Same goes for the girl. Human positive, then adult no, male no, parent no, and other are negative too. Then for father and mother, we have discussed it earlier. So the only difference is in mother, which is not male. Then son and daughter. Let's scroll a bit. Son and daughter, obviously humans. Adults, well, plus minus here, both can be possible at the same time. Well, they can be adult and they can't be adult here. Then male, son is adult, daughter is not. Then parents, negative, because son can't be parent. It has to be father to be parent. Then offspring, obviously, here we're talking about son and daughter, so kinship pair here, that they're obviously going to be someone's daughter and son. And let's look at the sibling, the negative for siblings. And brother and sister, for them obviously human, then adult, well they can't be and they can't be. And then goes male, brother is obviously male and sister is not. Then parent, negative for both, same goes for siblings, offsprings. And then for sibling, they're positive as brother or sister or sibling. It is like that, for example, let's say that you're going to introduce, he's the man at math. Well, you're not introducing someone's father, so it's just a man, so it's normal. But if you introduce that he's my son, well, you're introducing yourself as a parent and them as a son, so obviously you have introduced them as your offspring. And if you introduce someone as your brother, that he's my brother, so obviously the brother has got some other brother or sister who are introducing them, so that's what makes them siblings. So that's how you can easily decide. Then let's go check out the animals. Terms, same feature set, that is lexemetric bull, cow, calf, stallion, mare, fowl. Then human, adult, male, bovine, equine. So for bull, and all of them negative human as they're not then adult. Bull and cow are adult. Stallion and mare are adult, whereas calf and foal are not. Then male, bull is adult, calf can be or can't be, it depends upon the gender. As for calf, it's a neutral category. Then stallion is obviously male, mare is not, and for falter it's dependent on the situation. It's a neutral category, so it can't be a male, it can't be. So these are the terms that define if they're male or not. But when they're babies, for them neutral categories are used, like this one and this one. Then bovine, well, these three belong to the family of cattle, so obviously positive for them. Well, these three belong to the family of horse, so they're positive in equine, and these three are negative in equine. These three are positive in bovine, while these three are negative in bovine as they belong to the family of horse. So here it is the plus minus. The feature may apply or not. For example, son can be adult or not. The feature is irrelevant to the core meaning. So adopted from these works. Let's move forward. That is when features clash. Part number 5, semantic violation. So one of the most powerful uses of semantic feature theory is that it explains exactly why certain sentences feel wrong, not grammatically but semantically. So when a sentence forces incompatible features together, it produces a semantic anomaly. So let's check it out. That where the violation happened, the bachelor got married. Well, a bachelor is a human, adult, male. Well, bachelor can't be married because a bachelor is someone who's not married. So the word married forces married. But the difference of the bachelor contains that it's not married. So the features directly contradict each other. You cannot be bachelor and married at the same time. So the sentence is violating the semantics, which is the meaning of bachelor. So here meaning, word married, negative versus positive married is a contradiction here. So the stone is thinking. Well, this is another semantic contradiction because thinking requires something animate, having sentiment, having sentient, which is emotion are required in its subject, whereas stone is inanimate. Here it shows the negative animate, which is inanimate. So stone cannot have the ability to think. So here is the violation of meaning. So the verb selection restriction demands a feature the subject does not have. This is the selection violation, a core concept in Chomsky semantics from the 1960s. So let's look at another feature, the example that is she is a male mother. Well, mother is an adult human parent, but she can't be a male. So the adjective male here suggests something that she's playing the role of a man too. But here it is doing semantic violation, as women can't be male. So the two features, plus male and negative male, cannot coexist. So here is semantic anomaly, which is socially unusual. So the next example is the idea tasted bitter. Well, this is another violation too, because how can you taste ideas, as ideas are abstract, they're not physical. You can only taste something that is physical. So these are metaphorical examples which goes beyond the semantic meaning and violates the normal semantic feature. So let's look at the semantic feature in Urdu kinship. Well, we're taking example from another language too for better understanding. So Urdu has a richer and more grammatical complex kinship vocabulary than English, distinguishing parental versus maternal relatives, older versus younger siblings, and formal versus informal terms. Semantic feature analysis reveal this structure beautifully. Because in English there are only mother, father, aunt and uncle, and son and daughter, like this kind of relationship. But Urdu has diverse relationships. So it goes in Hindi and other related languages and related areas. They have wide range of semantic relationships, like as bhai, which is brother. It is a human male sibling, not a parent, same generation. So brother, but bhai in Urdu carries an additional cultural weight. It is also used as a respectful address to any older male. A semantic extension where respect feature is activated outside the family domain, but it's not just for your blood related brother. You can call anyone animal brother, so it goes beyond the boundary of family terms. Then goes chacha, which is paternal uncle. So human adult male is not parent, not maternal, because it is from paternal side. So sibling of parent. Let's scroll a bit. So here it is. The father's brother, differing from mamu by exactly one feature. Maternal versus maternal. English has no equivalent single word. This shows that the semantic feature inventory of a language reflects how that culture organizes family and social categories. So this is paternal side, while in maternal side is mamu, which is maternal uncle. So here maternal is negative in chacha but positive in mamu. So English uncle covers both maternal and paternal male relatives. Urdu distinguishes them by mamu is specifically mother's brother, whereas chacha is father's brother. And father's younger brother, specifically to be saying. For older brothers is another term, which is taya. So the feature maternal is obligatory here. A semantic distinction English lacks. a single word for. So the other word is Bob, father. So human, adult, male, parent, not a maternal. The everyday direct word for father, warm and domestic, feature for feature, equivalent for English father. So another word for this one is wallet, which is more formal term. So these are some of the terms. There, well, let's go a little bit. So look at it. There are other two terms like the wife of Chacha is Chachi and so on. There are many other relations to like Taya Tai, Popo Puppy, Pupa. And they're not just single terms like uncle in English. For this, the Chacha and also Chachu too. So this shows how broader the semantic kinship terms of Urdu are. Well, let's look at the part 7, that is an honest assessment. What this method can and cannot do. Well, semantic feature analysis is powerful, but every method has its boundary. Here is the honest evidence-based assessment of where it works brilliantly and where it breaks. Well, now we're looking at that how specifically this method works and how it does not. What are its strengths and limitations? So here we are. Strength explains semantic relationships precisely. So here it is boy or father and mother antonyms that differ on exactly one feature, that is male. Feature analysis make it explicit and measurable. So another strength is reveals semantic anomaly. The bachelor married is semantically contradictory because the feature clashes. The feature theory predicts this, formally a major achievement. Other one is enables cross-linguistic comparison. English uncle versus Urdu chacha mamu shows that language encode different feature distinction, revealing for different conceptual structures across cultures. The other one is works excellently in structural domains. Kinship terms, color terms, body parts, and animal categories are all successfully analyzed using this approach. Whereas let's look at the limitations, which are first one is fails with abstract vocabulary. How would you decompose justice, freedom, or love into binary feature? The matter collapses for abstract words where the features are not crisp or binary. Well, that's exactly true. You cannot analyze the abstract vocabulary. Well, for this one, as they're all physical ones, these abstract we don't actually know their features out. We have just associated color red with love, but we're not specific as it's symbol of danger too at the same time. So that's how it's contradictory. Then the other one is the features themselves needs defining. So what exactly is human? Where does the human and non-human boundary lies for entities like corporation, AI, or gods? The primitives are not primitives enough. So that's exactly true. So it is in the case of like there are some plants that act as living and non-living. So the boundary lies deity. So this shows the contradiction and limitation. Then again, that cannot capture prototype effects. So is the penguin a bird? Technically yes, but it violates many expected features of birds, that if a bird should fly small in size. Says feature theory does not handle graded category membership, while prototype theory does this better. We'll discuss prototype theory later for this. And the next one is cultural context matter. The meaning of a world is more than its feature. It includes frames, scripts, and word knowledge that cannot be reduced to positive and negative lists. Feature theory is necessary but not sufficient. So this tells about the limitations about this theory, which is feature theory. And componential analysis gives us a useful window into semantic structure, but it is a window, not the whole room. The meaning of the world is richer than any metrics can capture. So this shows the limitation of componential analysis, as it is not much more diverse than it seems. Well, every theory has its drawbacks too, so let's check knowledge now. That is MCQ's Q spot. So what is semantic feature in linguistics? A grammar category, well, we're not discussing that, so it's out of the box. So the second option, a minimal binary unit of meaning used to decompose and distinguish word meaning. And then emotional association a word carries. Then word sound pattern, well, sound is out of the box as we're not discussing phonetics and phonology. Let's go with this one. Well, that's correct. A semantic feature is a minimal binary unit of meaning, written as positive or negative feature used to decompose word meanings and explain why words differ from one another. Let's move on to the next one. Let's scroll a bit. Using semantic feature, what is the only feature that distinguishes father from mother? Parent, well, they're both parents. Adult, well, they're both adult. Male, he will do both human, and it's a male because one is female. So this is the only feature that distinguishes both of them. Then move on to the next one. Whether the sentence the stone is thinking feels semantically anomalous because it's used passive voice. Well, we're not discussing the act voices, say it's out of the box because stone is not a common noun. Well, categories or out of the box because thinking requires long. Well, we're not discussing biology because think requires animate, sentient subject, but stone is negative in both aspects, but features. So this is the correct option. So this is the correct option. Let's move on to the next one, which is in Urdu. What semantic feature distinguishing Mamu from Chacha? Male, well, they're both male. Adult, well, both adult. Then parents, well, when we have discussed earlier that they're negative in this record. Well, maternal. One is the mother side, another is the father side. So this is the correct answer. Mamu is mother's brother and Chacha is father's brother. So let's look at the fifth one. Which of the following is the genuine limitation of the semantic feature analysis? It cannot analyze kinship terms. Then it only works in English. Well, we have checked in Urdu, so it's wrong too. It cannot analyze. Well, we have analyzed kinship terms too, so it is wrong too. It produces too many features of any word. Well, it can depend on the situation. It struggles with abstract words like justice and freedom, which where meaning can be reduced to binary feature. Well, that's correct. As we have discussed, this is one of the major drawbacks of feature analysis. Then move on to the sixth one, which is the last one. The sentence idea tasted bitter is semantically unusual, but linguists also see it as an example of a grammar error. While grammar is out of the box, a presupposition we have not discussed presupposition till yet, say out of the box. A synonym between idea and physical object. Well, it can't be considered to, but we still synonym. Homonym. A deliberate feature violation that carry metaphorical meaning, showing that anomaly and metaphor share the same mechanism. Well, that's exactly correct. Say Chomsky's 1965 selection restriction showed that feature violation produces anomaly, but lack of another noted the deliberate feature violation creates metaphor. The idea tasted bitter violates physical for taste, but in doing so creates a vivid metaphorical meaning. Bitterness as a conceptual quality of ideas. So this is how features are discussed. So we'll be discussing next thematic row. That's it for today. Let's scroll up. So I hope you understand it. Please do like, subscribe, and share, and do comment. That is very important for YouTube algorithm, and it's very helpful for us to and encouraging us to do much more for this channel. I hope you understand it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.